All right, guys, so with this assignment, M42, the pixel art equations, we have a picture to make, and you're going to make the picture by solving these one-step equations. All right, so you're going to, first of all, start by writing these down. You do not need to turn your paper or scratch paper in today. All you need to do is complete this, and you're done. But it's going to be difficult to do if you don't do this on paper. So on your other paper, you're going to start by writing these down. We have x plus 7 equals 18. All right, draw the line. So we have the left side from the left side from the right side. We need to make sure and undo what we have going on here with x. So undo what's going on with this side with x. So the inverse, or opposite of adding 7, is taking away 7. So we need to take away whatever we're adding. And we need to make sure and do that to both sides. So these cancel out, leaving us with just x on this side. And the 18 minus 7, that is 11. So x equals 11. All you do is type in the answer there, and you're good to go. And you'll see that some drawing begins to appear. All right, let's go through this pretty quickly. All right, we have x plus 20 equals 24. X plus 20 equals 24. All right, so you should pause the video, try this one on your own, and see if you can do it, okay? So hopefully you've already paused the video. The inverse of adding 20 is taking 20 away. So these cancel out, or 20 minus 20 is 0, leaving us with just x. X plus 0 is 0, right? That's the identity property of addition. Anything plus 0 is whatever that number is. 1 plus 0 is 1, 10 plus 0 is 10, 100 plus 0 is 100, x plus 0 is x. 24 minus 20 is 4, so we have x equals 4. All right. You know you got it right if these lines show up. One thing that I haven't been showing you that I do need to show you is you need to check your work. This sheet is tempting to not do it because the check is right there, but you need to get in the habit of checking your work. So let's do this next one. I'll show you how to check your work. We have x minus 18 equals 40. All right, so pause the video, try this one on your own. The reason I say that is because when you go to do this on your own, if you don't know how to do it on your own, it's not going to help anybody. I know that you can just watch the video and get the answers, which is great for this assignment, but when it comes to the tests and future assignments, if you don't know how to do it, it's not going to help anybody. So the inverse of taking away 18 is adding 18, and you must do that to both sides. These cancel out, leaving us with just x on this side. 40 plus 18 is 58. So we have x equals 58. Now let's show you how you check your work. You want to check your work all of the time. So we go back to our original problem, and we're not gonna worry about this side right here. We're gonna just do x equals 18. We said x equals 58, so we have 58 minus 18. So we just take those away. 8 minus 8 is 0. 5 minus 1 is 4. So we ended up with 40. And our original one said that we should have 40. So that checks out. Now, what I see a lot of students doing is they'll just kind of go through the motions of checking, but they don't actually check. Let me show you a case where it would have been useful if we made a mistake with this, okay? What if you did this? What if you said x minus 18 equals 40? And you made a mistake. You saw this minus 18, so you said, I'm going to take away 18 from both sides. All right, so this is not actually right. Negative 18 minus negative 18 is actually negative 36. But if you said they canceled out and you said they equaled 0, then you'd say those cancel out and just leave x right here. 40 minus 18, well, 40 minus 18 is 22. So you said x equals 22. All right, so with this, if we were to check our answer, we would go back over here and we'd say 22 minus 18. 22 minus 18, well, that equals 4. And we come over here, we say 4. Does 4 equal 40? No, 4 does not equal 40. So we would know we did something wrong. And if we looked back, we could be like, oh, I wasn't supposed to take away 18. I was supposed to add 18. The reason that this works, actually, this is very interesting, is this. All right, if we did take away 18 and we did it correctly, we'd have x equals negative 36, right? Or x minus 36, I should say. So x take away negative, or x take away 36. And then we'd have to undo that. We'd be like, oh, well, taking away 18 didn't do anything. So when we keep our equation balanced, we can still solve for the problem. So x minus 36, well, the opposite of adding 36 or subtracting 36 is adding 36. So those cancel out. Add 36 to both sides, and we end up with x equals 58. All right, here we go. So let's move on. So we said the answer for this one was 58. That was kind of a long explanation. I'm not going to do those longer explanations for these. I just wanted you to see what happens and how to check it. All right, so here we go. X minus 40 equals negative 38. Let's see. All right. X minus 40 equals negative 38. All right. So again, draw our line, pause the video, try this on your own. So that way you can see if you can do it. And if you get stuck, then the video is going to help you with that. The inverse of taking away 40 is adding 40. So we add 40 to both sides. Those cancel out, leaving us with just x on this side. Negative 38 plus 40. You're going to want to look at your notes for adding and subtracting integers. And if you do, you'll know that when you are adding and you have different signs, you're going to subtract and keep the sign of the number with the higher absolute value. So 40 minus 38 is 2. The 40 is positive, so our answer is 2. X equals 2. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to check our answer. So we're going to plug this back in. So 2 minus 40. 2 minus 40. What does 2 minus 40 equal? Well, again, with our rules for integers, 2 minus 40 means we're going to keep, change. So 2 plus negative 40. And then we have, remembering our rules for integers, when we're adding integers and we have opposite signs, right? When the signs are different or not the same, we have a positive 2 and a negative 40. That means we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the number with the higher absolute value. The number with the higher absolute value, just remember, it's the number that if you just ignore the negative, what's the bigger number, 40 or 2, right? 40 is bigger, so 40 minus 2 is 38. The 40 is negative, so our answer is negative 38. Let's check our answer. Over here, we got it right, okay? And if we take a look at this, we said x equals 2. We type in 2 right there, and more of our picture shows. All right, let's try this next one. All right, negative 43 plus x equals 107. Again, pause the video, try this one on your own. We have negative 43 plus x. So on this side, there's a couple of mistakes that some students might do on this one. They see, well, I'm adding x, so the inverse of adding is subtracting. But that's not actually right, because you are adding x, but on the side with x, you have a negative 43. So what's the inverse of negative 43? How do you get rid of that negative 43? Well, the inverse of negative 43 is positive 43, or the opposite of subtracting 43 is adding 43. So you do that to both sides. Those cancel out, leaving us with just x on this side, and then 107 plus 43. 7 plus 3 is 10. 1 plus 0 plus 4 is 5. Bring down the 1. X equals 150. All right. Now I'm going to skip a couple of these and go down to some that I think are a little bit more complicated. Okay, so let's take a look at number 16. 95 minus x equals 83. All right, this one doesn't look more complicated than the other ones, but let me show you there's actually something else that you need to keep in mind with this. We're not taking away a number, we're actually taking away x. And all of these, you are either taking something away from x or adding something to x. This one, you're actually taking away x from 95. So that's how it's a little bit different. So we have 95 minus x equals 83. All right, so with this one, what do we have on this side with x? Well, we have 95. The opposite of adding 95, because that's what this is, it's a positive 95, is taking away 95 or subtracting that negative 95, right? So 95 and negative 95 cancel out, leaving us with, and here is where the big difference is. It's not just x, it's negative x. You'll see right here, the subtraction doubles as a negative sign. So 95 and negative x, right? Equals 83 minus 95. Well, we have different signs, so we subtract. 95 minus 83 is 12. The 95 is negative, so our answer is negative 12. So you have here negative x equals negative 12. Some of you guys might be like, all right, x equals negative 12, but if you did that, that would be wrong. So what we need to do is we can just use logic, and we can be like, well, if negative x equals negative 12, then positive x must equal positive 12. Or we can do it a couple of different ways with using math, right? One of the easiest ways is just to take the absolute value of both sides. And, well, the absolute value of x equals 12. This can get you in trouble sometimes because, if a positive... if you had a positive on one side, this only works if you have negatives on both sides. The best way to do this would be to make it look like this. So let's go back to this. We had negative x equals negative 12. So really, the way that we can undo this negative is to multiply by negative 1. Because if you multiply anything by negative 1, it's going to turn positive, right? 1 times negative, well, let's do this. If you multiply anything by negative 1, it's not going to turn positive. It's going to reverse the sign. So any negative, it will turn positive, and any positive, it will turn negative. So negative 1 times negative x is positive x. Negative 12 times negative 1 equals positive 12. All right? So that is how we do those. So x equals... All right, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. There's another one of these problems that you're going to do. It looks like, let's see, this one, 23. Remember, you're going to have to remember what we just did here with all that. And honestly, at this point, I would just say it's easier to kind of use logic and just say, well, if negative x equals negative 12, then positive x must equal positive 12. Let's go ahead and do a couple others. So this one right here, number 19 and 20, this says 4x equals 1,000. So this means 4 times x equals 1,000. So again, I would try to pause the video and do this on your own. So the opposite of, or the inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. So we're multiplying by here, and you might ask yourself, okay, we're multiplying, so I know the inverse of multiplication is division. But what do you divide by? Well, you divide by whatever you're multiplying by. So we're multiplying by 4 in this case. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times x is just x. That's called the identity property of multiplication. Right? 4 divided by 4. Well, that's the identity property of division, that anything divided by itself equals 1. Equals 1,000 divided by 4. We can go ahead and do the long division. I remember not liking long division. I remember it was one of the things that I struggled with when I learned it in 3rd or 4th grade. And then one day I just finally got it. So 4 goes into 10. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. Bring down the 0. 4 goes into 20 5 times. 4 times 5 is 20. And there we go. So 250. X equals 250. All right, so that is number 19. And we'll go ahead and do number 20, and then I'm going to let you do the rest on your own. So this next one, number 20, we have x divided by 3 equals 1. All right, so pause the video, try this one on your own. Think of what is the inverse of dividing by 3. Okay, so, well, the inverse of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. All right, so let me show you how that works. If we had 6 and we divided it by 3, right, we get 2. And what happens if we multiply that by 3 again? I'm sorry. So we divided by 3. Now we're going to multiply it by 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. So it undoes, this multiplication undoes the division. So, but what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So these cancel out, and we're leaving us with just x on this side, and 1 times 3 is 3. So we have x equals 3. So let's check our answer. We have 3 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So let's check this, and then we'll check over here. They are the same. 1 equals 1, so that checks out. So x equals 3. All right. The rest you should be able to do on your own. And there's this one that has like x on the right side. It's okay. It doesn't matter what side x is on. Just continue to solve for it, and whatever you get on that one should be the same. All right. Good luck. Have a great day.